Zach is back. It's the Zach Gelb Show on Fox Sports 920 The Jersey.
All right, welcome back in. Time to talk some college football. Rutgers gets a victory over the weekend, 35-24 on the road up against Illinois. Now they'll come back home this Saturday at high noon up against Purdue. Purdue having a very nice season at 3-3, losing to Louisville, Michigan, and Wisconsin being those three losses. But Rutgers now has a Big Ten win. So let's go out to the hotline and welcome in the head football coach at Rutgers, and that is Chris Ash. Chris, Zach Gelb, appreciate a few minutes. Thanks for the time as always, and how are you?
Doing great, Zach. Appreciate you guys having us on.
Well, thank you for coming on. So that was some scene in the locker room after the game. It must have been a fun plane ride home after your first Big Ten victory.
Oh, yeah, really happy for our players. That's what it's all about, is our players getting a chance to celebrate and enjoy the hard work and time and effort they put into college football, and to be able to finally get a victory on the field like that in the conference play means a lot. And really just awesome scene to get a chance to watch them celebrate like that.
Let's get to Juwan Harris, because that's some story. Switch positions in the bye week, was playing safety for you guys this past weekend because of injuries. And in his debut at that position, 11 tackles and a pick. Take me through the work that he put in during that bye week to have the results that you guys did see out of him on Saturday.
Well, he put in a lot. We were thankful for the bye week to come when it did. That extra time was much needed time to get him ready, and much needed time for him to prepare himself to be able to go out and play the way that he did. We talk to our players a lot. It's not your day work that makes you successful. It's your homework, and he did a lot of homework, a lot of extra meetings, a lot of film study at night on his own. He put in the time and made the effort to go out there and have a chance to perform like he did, and just so happy for him. Just selfless move. He's one of our better receivers, productive receiver, and to move over and play a position that he's not comfortable at and has never played before, to do it for a football team and then play that way says a lot about him.
I know no one could have predicted this performance that he did have on Saturday, but you're going to put players on the field. You got to feel confident about them. When did you feel really confident in him during the bye leading up to the game that he would have a positive impact on the game?
Really didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you, until Saturday when the foot hit the ball and he went out and played. We're asking a lot of an individual that hasn't played a position that can get you beat. And there's a lot that goes into playing defensive back, more so than a lot of other positions on the football field. And really, I wasn't sure what we were going to get. First-time player in a new position on the road in a Big Ten game. Felt good that he'd be able to handle the moment, but you're not ever 100% sure until he goes out and does it. And so I can't sit here and say that I was really, confident and positive they'd be able to handle the moment until he actually did it.
What did you say to him after the game?
Congratulations. Honestly, just really happy for him. Just to be able to go do that just meant a lot. It meant a lot to him to be able to help his teammates, and it meant a lot to his teammates that he made that move. And I just congratulate him and acknowledged him in front of the team.
How much does, playing wide receiver and then also his baseball skills maybe help in that transition to that new position of safety? Does that at all help when taking the other side of the ball, knowing it, and then also from a different sport? Can any of those skills actually help in that position that had him have a lot of success on Saturday?
Well, I don't know about the baseball part of it, but I know the wide receiver part of it helps because he had a better understanding of coverages. He had a better understanding of offensive formations and splits and, things that people like to do from that standpoint from playing the position. So that helped. And then, just being able to study different coverages and have an understanding of what certain coverages are and where people are supposed to be, that definitely helped him without a doubt, be able to make that a smoother transition.
What's the next step for him? Because obviously you're going to play him again next week. I know you still have some problems in the secondary in regards to health, but what's the next step in his career at that position?
I just got to keep getting better, keep practicing and doing the things that he did to help him have a game like he did last week. And if he does that, then he'll continue to play a lot and make a difference for our football team.
When you have a player that makes that much of a selfless act in a next man up mentality, is that contagious in your locker room when someone like Juwan Harris has that performance that he just had this past Saturday?
Well, I think it's a great example of the brotherhood that we have in our program. I think it just reinforces the culture that we've been able to create here for an individual to do that. Not just another individual, but a guy that was a starter and a playmaker, on one side of the ball, be able to make that sacrifice. That doesn't just happen overnight. That's again, the brotherhood and the culture that we have in our locker room, and it does set a huge example for other players, especially younger players, that, hey, this is what you got to do to be a part of a team.
Taking us through the decision-making process in that change, how'd you guys come up with that as a staff? Did you see something, to make that change, or what was the thought process behind it?
There were really no choices, to be honest with you. We needed somebody to come over. We looked at, who those possibilities were. There were very few possibilities of guys that actually had the skill set that could go over and do what a defensive back needs to do. We approached Juwan on it, and he didn't flinch. He said, absolutely, I'll go do it, and that was pretty much it.
Chris Ash with us right now on the Zach Gelb Show, Fox Sports 920, The Jersey. Moving forward to Purdue, the health of your quarterback in Gio, where is his health at right now?
He's day-to-day. That's about where it's at. We got banged up, but we're hoping he'll be fine. Just going to take a little while like it does for anybody that goes through bumps and bruises of a game.
If he can't go, do you go with Kyle or Jonathan Lewis starting at quarterback?
Yeah, we haven't had those conversations yet. We will, as we continue our game plan preparations.
There's so much hype with Jonathan, and we got to see him, times during the course of this season. Moving forward for the rest of this year, what are your plans for a player like a Jonathan Lewis?
Same as that we've been doing. We're going to continue to develop him, help him improve in the areas that he needs to improve on, and continue to find a role for him on game day. So, he's getting that experience needed as he moves forward in his career.
Let's get to your offensive line in the run game. The production on Saturday was great production out of the offensive line in the run game, 274 yards and 5 touchdowns. You could take advantage probably of that Illinois rushing defense, but what worked specifically on Saturday to get the production that you guys did see?
Really came down to the details of what we asked the offensive line to do in the run game. Their footwork was better. Their hand placement was better. They sustained their blocks better. They came off with better pad level. All the things that you need to do to be successful just hasn't been there consistently. And we finally got 5 guys, and really 6 when you talk about the tight end, really to work together and get that picture look really good with footwork, hand placement, pad level, sustaining blocks, and all the things that go into it working together. We really haven't had that much this year. And we finally got it. The bye week, we were able to go back and really adjust some things that we've been doing and get some things cleaned up, and it really helped us.
When you take a look at Purdue, they've been some story from where they were last year, 3-3 in their 3 losses. They played 3 tough opponents with Lamar Jackson at Louisville, had Michigan and Wisconsin also in those 3 losses. What type of challenges does a team like Purdue present to you guys?
They're playing with confidence right now. They've been a competitive football team here this year so far. They've got, good players like a lot of teams in our league do. You can tell that they've bought in to what their new staff is asking them to do, and they've done a nice job of being competitive and giving themselves a chance to win games so far this year. I think they're really multiple on both sides of the ball and even on special teams, and they've kind of created a schematic advantage with some of the things that they do.
Knowing all these coaches in the Big Ten, you take a look at Jeff Brom comes in, and the last 4 years for Purdue, they were 9-39, and now in their first year, they're sitting at 500. As someone that talks to the coaches in the conference and prepares to play those teams, a Jeff Brom team, I know you mentioned them a little bit, but how about the job that just Jeff has done? What do you like about him as a head coach?
Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about him. I've talked to him a couple times since he's been in the league at a couple functions. I know at Western Kentucky, he did a really nice job, built that program up, and they were competitive against everybody they played. But other than that, that's about all I know, other than what I've been watching on film here as we're getting ready to play Purdue. I know he's done a nice job.
What is it going to take to get back-to-back wins this week, Coach? What's the message to the Rutgers squad?
Our challenge is to continue to try to teach our kids what it takes to win, and really good teams, really good players, and coaching staffs. What they're able to do is, obviously rise up and get a victory in 1 week, and then put it behind them, push the reset button, get refocused, get your focus put on the next opportunity, the next challenge, and move forward and keep trying to grind to get better. That's something we have not been able to do. We've obviously dealt with the losing part of it and the failure part of it. Now we have to be able to handle success and winning and be able to get refocused and get ready for a good Purdue team, and that's really what it's about right now.
I know you said Gio is day-to-day earlier in this conversation. What are the plans this week in terms of practices?
Same thing what we've always done. All of our quarterbacks will get reps, and we'll see where we're at the end of the week with the health of our guys and who gives us the best chance to win.
Well, Coach, we're looking forward to the game coming up on Saturday. We appreciate it. Thanks so much, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Really appreciate you having us on.
Anytime. Chris Ash joining us right there on the Zach Gelb Show. Fox Sports, 920 The Jersey. Nice little win for them, getting their second win on the season, defeating Illinois, and now they look to move ahead. And they'll be playing a Purdue team, which that's a very nice coaching job by Jeff Brom, because where they have been the last 4 years under the old regime, being at 9-39, and then this year you're 3-3, and those 3 losses, you shouldn't be discouraged by any of those 3 losses when you have to go up against a Louisville, a Michigan, and a Wisconsin. So it should be a tough challenge for the Rutgers football team coming up at high noon on Saturday at High Point Solutions Stadium. All right, let's take a quick break here on the Zach Gelb Show, Fox Sports, 920 The Jersey. 609-919-9200 is the number to get on board. We'll be back right after this.